Welcome to the He Said,
She Said,
We Said podcast. I'm Todd.
And I'm Pam.
All right, guys, let me ask you, have you ever been like, man, I've been at work all day, had this and this happened and this happened and this happened, and you pull up in the driveway and you just feel like every bit of energy is draining from your body. And you're like, oh my gosh, if I just need to go in and just go to sleep until tomorrow, that'd be fantastic, right? You get home, you open the door, and you hear, Dad, watch Elmo with me. Dad, Elsa's on TV. Dad, can we play a game? And all you can think in that moment is, oh, dear God. Right? I know what happens. And now, Pam, as a parent, have you ever felt like, no, Calgon, take me away? Now, if you didn't know what that was, you're as old as I am, right? Have you ever had that moment where you're like, oh, just let me escape, please?
Definitely. You know, we wear so many hats as parents, as people who work, as people who run the house. I mean, the day never ends, you know, just because even when the kids go to bed and you have time for yourself, you still have to plan for the next day and get everything ready and make sure we've got the food for tomorrow, and you still have to plan. So it's never ending. It's never ending. Sometimes I'm just like, there's just not enough hours in the day.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to tell parents. When you're exhausted and your kids are like, let's do something, this is what I need you to do. I need you to lie to them. I just need you to be like, okay, I've been waiting all day to watch Elmo, right? Time goes by so fast. I remember when our kids were 3, 5, and 7. Mm-hmm. And now there's 4. And they're 14, 22, 24, and 26. And I'm like, they were just babies. And I sometimes I feel guilty because as a young parent, I didn't realize that I wasn't giving them what they needed. I was exhausted. And I was like, oh, so how many missed opportunities did I have with the kids? Because I was like,
Yeah, well, you weren't focused on the stages and the important parts and what you're missing, because you were just focused on getting through the next day and giving them everything that they needed.
Right. And so I think what's important to remember is take the time to spend with them, even when you're tired. Even when you're tired, you got to take that time and be like, yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. You got to own it. They're your kids.
Yeah. So on the whole lie to your kids, I know it seems like a negative thought, but what we're trying to say is they have had a long day and they want to tell you all about it. Or they may have had a bad day and they just want to do something cool with you. So even though you get home and you're tired and all you want to do is just take a break, and they say, hey, Mom, you want to watch this new anime that just came out? And I'm like, in my head, no, I just want to take a break. I have to say, yeah, let's go do that.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm just proud that you called it anime and not manga. Normally you get that backwards, and then Hope gets all over you about that.
True.
I think one of the things as parents we have to realize is, yes, we come home, we're exhausted. We don't have to jump right into Elmo. Sometimes we can say, just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the important part is, though, time is relative.
True.
Right? When a parent says 5 minutes, that means 42. Right? Yes. And so when we say, give me 5 minutes, we need to make sure it's 5 minutes, and we come back to our children. We don't go then sit on the sofa and hope they come out and spend that time with us and think, oh, good, they're staying in their room. Good. Right?
Right.
You've got to say, hey, Dad or Mom, I'm done with my thing. Daddy's done with his thing. Thanks for giving me that 5 minutes. And I think it's important to say thanks for giving me that 5 minutes because their time is important. We want to say, hey, thanks for giving me that buffer. Now I can be my best version of me for you.
Right.
Right. And I think we can do that, but we got to make sure we come back and then we go into what they wanted to do.
Right. Definitely. It's important to share the things that they find important with them. So when they come with such excitement and want to share, we really have to take the time to be like, hey, they're coming to me. They're excited about something. I should share with them at that time. that special thing, whatever it is, whether it is anime or manga, if I say that right.
That's right.
You know, or if it's like, hey, mom, I learned a new dance. Let me show it to you, or whatever it is that they want to do.
You know, and I think for me, one of the things I've been working on over the years is taking that few minutes in the car before I come in.
Right.
Sometimes we just come straight in the house. And I know there's times I come in the house on a call. And I try, I know how I feel about the word try. I do my best not to take a call from the car into the house because then I'm still in work mode.
Right.
But I work really hard on pulling up, getting my phone out, going through my emails, reading my text, taking a couple of minutes to decompress before I even get out of the car. And I consciously, when I get to the door every night, I consciously think to myself, take your coach shoes off, leave him right here. Your dad and husband slippers are over here. Put those on. And that way, when I go into the house, I can be dad and I can be the husband. Because, right. I know for me personally, there were so many years I couldn't find those slippers at the doorstep. So I just wore the coach shoes in the house. And I'm like, bam, bam, solution, do it. Let's go. Right. And I'm just all over the place. So, it's, sometimes it's important to take that time before you even get out of the car and go, let's let the day go so that I can be the best dad and the best husband for everybody in my family.
Yep, I agree. I didn't used to do that. And because, I remember being like, so you got here 5 minutes ago. Why were you in the car all that time? And you explained to me what you were doing. And I'm like, hey, you know what? That's a really good idea. I should do that too. So that way, when I come in with the excitement of wanting to see the kids and hear about their day.
Well, I think it's also important is when we come in with our best version of ourselves, we're giving us to them. They're seeing that they are important to us. Because I know when I come in on my calls and everybody's like that, and I'm like, in a minute,
yeah.
Right? That shows them that this call is more important, and maybe this call is important, but that call could have happened in the car,
right?
And I could have been in and come in and be dad or be husband. Right. And everybody used to feel like, wow, I am important to you.
But you know what? There are going to be those times where you are going to have to walk into the house for some whatever reason. But after you get off that phone call, you can always thank them for being patient and waiting for the phone call to end so that it's like, hey, thank you for coming and greeting me. And thank you for having that time for giving me that time to finish that phone call.
Well, I think also we have to remember when the kids come up, if we say no, I don't want to watch Elmo, we're now making it about us.
True.
Right? And it's not about us. We had kids for a reason.
Yep.
Right? So if we always make it about us, no, I'm tired, no, I'm this, no, I'm that, we're showing them they're not important. And we're showing them that we are more important. And in the long term, we're going to train them not to spend time with us. We're going to train them not to share their day with us. And now they're going to be 16, and you're going to be like, why don't my kids talk to me? Why don't they share their day with me? Well, it could have been because the first 15 years, you showed them you didn't have time for them.
I definitely remember one time when my answer was, no, not right now. I'm so tired. And the answer from the kids were like, Mom, but you're always tired.
Right. And think about what that does to your psyche as the parent.
Yep. So definitely that was a big game changer for me because I'm just like, wow, that's how my kids see me as always tired. That needs to change.
So there you go, guys. You've got to get out there and lie to your kids. Right? You got to let them know they're important. Like if you're tired, take that few minutes before you get into the house, decompress, or ask for that 5 minutes if you forgot to decompress. That's what kids want. They want your time. They may not always show they want your time, but they do, right? And matter of fact, guess what? There's another podcast out there that we've done that Hope actually talks about the right kind of time right? So, but make sure you check that one out because then you're going to get a kid's idea of what the right kind of time is too. Hey guys, thanks for being part of today's podcast. There's a friend out there that needs to hear the message. Make sure you hit share. Also, don't forget, we're on every platform there is. Follow us at Coach Todd Harris. On YouTube, you can get us at The Parenting Ninja. Oh, and by the way, follow us and give us a like on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.